Okay, alright. Let's just get this over with, okay? It's been half a year since Circus came out. We talked about Blitz and Fizz in our What You May Have Missed. We made a short talking about it with even more stuff to it. And yet we still get comments about this duo. Let's settle this here and now. Are Blitz and Fizzarali brothers? Short answer? No. No, they're not. But since people seem to be set on saying that yes, they are brothers, let's take a look at what we have seen thus far in the series that would say otherwise. For this vid, we'll be going in episode order, more so that we can see all our info as it was given to us in regard to their relationship as a whole. And while yes, there will be a little bit of speculation sprinkled in, like grains of salt you'll need to take those moments with, we're going to try to, again, look mostly at info directly given to us either in the episodes themselves or through official media done by the team of the show that has been Vivziepop approved. Before we get into the good stuff, if you like this vid, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell for more. Plus, check out the link tree on our page for other stuff we do. Alright, let's get going. Let's start off with Season 1, Episode 2, LooLoo Land. We already know there's animosity between Blitz and RoboFizz from Octavia's flashback, and given the way Robo talks to Blitz in this episode, it would be no shock if Blitz had a bit of anger towards Fizz as a whole for always succeeding where he failed, being able to entertain. Something mentioned as early as in the pilot.
Are you gonna crush my musical theater dreams like my dad did?
Sir,
Because right now, all I see is just my dad's asshole talking to me, crushing my dreams of being who I truly am inside.
Where things start to get interesting is when Fizz says,
real or not though, people love me. Does anybody love you?
because it seems a bit specifically worded, doesn't it? I mean, he could have just as easily said something like,
People like me, not you.
or,
People like what I do. Nobody wants to see you, Blitz-Ø.
if you ask me, the fact that he uses the word love here so specifically and puts emphasis on it seems like they wanted that word to stand out. But I digress. It's also worth noting that he, like others who know him from his past, tend to dead name him with the O still vocally heard. The last bit here is that Blitz, when firing at RoboFizz, says,
Ah, what a mouth.
before giving a look to the side like, wait, no, not this anymore. Not into this. Nope. And I'm sorry, but why would anyone, even someone in hell, ever say that about a sibling of theirs? Just seems weird. Next, we take a bit of a jump all the way to Season 1, Episode 6, Truth Seekers. During the amazingly animated Bad Trip sequence, we have a look into Blitz's psyche, where we see not only him dressed as the clown he used to be, but everyone that is in Blitz's trip is someone he has had, or wanted to have, some sort of romantic or sexual endeavor with. Stolas, obviously his current flame at this point, Arasaka, his ex, Striker, who he was very tempted to try stuff with before realizing his intentions, and Moxie, someone Blitz has shown a sexual interest in for some time now, even back in LooLoo.
Yeah, I really want you, sir. Me too. Let's three-way.
So then, why is Fizz here? If it's just people that he cared about in his past or present, then why isn't Luna here? What about his sister Barbie or his mother Tilla? Hell, Verosika even says,
That you still shove away anyone who gets too close until they resent you for being a selfish, shitty shit.
and Blitz's trip ends with everyone he's hallucinating saying, "You're gonna die alone, Blitz." Seems like it's more than just a brotherly relationship they had. But that could all be up to interpretation, I suppose, with it all being in his mind. So, why don't we move along over to Ozzie's in Season 1, Episode 7. We all know that the real Fizzarali is now the MC at Ozzie's and most likely a boy toy of Ozzie himself. But that's not relevant to today's discussion. No, let's get to the song number. We all know and love it, but things get interesting when we get to Blitz's interrupting. not only do we have Fizz bringing a spotlight to Blitz, stating that he's a total disgrace, but going on to mention that,
last I checked, your love life is a pile of shit!
which, similar to the what a mouth line earlier, seems a bit, well, fucking weird to say towards a sibling. Specifically, if you were putting them on blast in front of, for the most part, a restaurant full of strangers? If anything, it sounds like a spiteful ex. I mean, for fuck's sake, we have Veroska come up right afterward and shit-talk him too, and we've heard her reasons for why she hates him in Season 1, Episode 3.
Aw, you mad, Blitz-Ø? You gonna run off, leaving someone else to pay for the hotel room, steal their car, and run 3 rings to Rap and max my credit cards on shitty horse riding lessons?
God damn it, whore, you will not let that go!
Towards the end of the song, Fizz even sort of presents Blitz to Stolas during Ozzie's verse, as if they're both asking Stolas, did you really risk everything for this guy? And given Blitz's reaction, he probably feels like Stolas shouldn't have, because if what the Veroska hallucination in Truth Seeker said is right, Stolas would end up leaving him anyway. The last thing worth noting in this episode is when Blitz looks through his photos. He comes across 2 of him and Fizz, one as kids, and the other as probably teenagers. And while I admit this may be a bit of a personal opinion, the picture of them as teens looks more like a picture of a date, whereas the one with them as kids, it looks more like a mom looking at, oh, look at my son and his little friend, let's take a picture, this will be cute, sort of moment. But with the older one, just look at their attire. It looks like they could have been at a concert or something, with the matching shirts, the almost punk rock look, fucking glow stick armbands all around. Seems like a date night pick to me. Man, if Mammon turns out to be a rock star in this hell, that would be so fucking awesome. I mean, we've seen so many music styles already between pop, country, and showstopper numbers, so a rock star embodiment of greed? Fucking yes, please! Adam's supposed to have a guitar in Hazbin Hotel, so anything's possible, but I'm getting off track. Now, let's take a look at Circus. Big points from the Big Tent in Season 2, Episode 1. Now, before we get into the actual first appearance of Baby Fizz and Baby Blitz-Ø in this episode, I want to address something people have often used as a reason to why these two must be related. The marks on their foreheads. If we look back at the picture of them as kids in the last episode, we can see they have the same mark. People assume this is a family mark, as Cash Buxo, Blitz's dad, also has it, as well as Barbie Wire, Blitz's sister. However, we can see that not only does everyone in the circus troupe wear the same marking, but some even wear them on their hats. Clearly this isn't a birthmark, but more of a symbol to represent something. This is more likely to be a symbol that these are all members of the same circus, as if these marks are part of their performance makeup, rather than a symbol that they're an actual family. Small bit of speculation here, but it's possible that as kids these are just painted on to be like part of their clown makeup, but as adults they become tattoos. So far we haven't seen real Fizz without his hat, but the fact that his heart symbol now covers what was there is possible that it could be a new symbol to show he's no longer associating with that circus. Either way, stating that they have the same mark so they must be related has one flaw that stands out above the rest, and that's Tilla, Blitz's mom. In both the images we see of her, in Ozzie's as well as in Circus, she clearly has the same symbol underneath her hair. By stating, Blitz and Fizz must be related by having these marks, the same argument could be made that Tilla and Cash are brother and sister. And that just doesn't feel right. I feel that similar to other circus members, when Tilla and Cash got together, they made her part of the troupe, so Tilla got the mark on her head just like the others. And granted, we never outright see Fizzarelli's parents in this episode. There was a huge trope decades ago of kids running off to join the circus whenever they didn't like being home. So what if Fizz had the same thought? Cash sees a young boy with charisma who wants to join his troupe and suddenly make money he couldn't with Blitz-Ø? Get that mark on his head, he's part of the crew now! Also, Note that in both the pictures with Tilla and her children, Fizz isn't present. And these aren't just Blitz and Tilla, Barbie's in there too. And given the little we seem to know about her just from Blitz's reactions,
Of course I want to help Mama.
this is someone who actually cared about him and made things alright in his life. She doesn't come off as the kind of person who would just ignore one of her kids, especially not if they were getting a family portrait done like we see in the circus tent. Alright, I've dwelled on the marks for long enough. Let's go back to, again, some of the more obvious points we see here. Something I hadn't mentioned up until this point is that this show doesn't play around with family matters in the way of keeping things vague. With Millie's family, we know her brothers and sisters, plain and simple. And yeah, they weren't trying to hide them, but if you take into account Sally Mae is a canonically trans character, and we see that all the other characters respect who she is, even with the sibling rivalry between her and Millie.
How come Sally Mae still gets to compete?
Your sister doesn't have a neighborhood head count.
She so does.
It doesn't count if they don't find the body.
Clearly, they lay all the cards out there. And the same can be said for characters that, as of this recording, we haven't even met yet. In this episode alone, not only do we get the first in-series mention of Stella's brother,
And Drell says,
I don't care what your arrogant brother thinks.
but also the mention that Stolas himself has, at the very least, brothers, if not sisters as well.
There is my little, which son is this one? There's so fucking many.
Stolas, Your Highness.
Stolas! Yes! right. That's the one. The owl boy.
So again, if a character has a sibling, even one unseen, we seem to find out about it. Even Barbie, Blitz's sister, is mentioned by Veronica in episode 3.
And rehab is for sad loser wash-ups. So your sister says hi.
Now, why does this matter? One particular scene between Cash Buxo and Paimon Goetia, when Paimon wants to, quote, buy the little clown boy, Cash's response is,
Well, Fizzaroli is a big draw. He has a few more shows to be in today, so it would be pretty expensive.
but when he realizes Paimon means Blitz, his literal first words are,
Well, he's my son, so
so why would he make that distinction here? No reason other than to show that he cares more about money than his flesh and blood. As we saw just a moment earlier, he was willing to extort a huge check for Fizz, the cash cow of his circus, but for Blitz, his own son, he'd rather settle for...
How much you got in your pocket? A wadded up 5 and a slim fit condom.
yeah, that's plenty.
Alright, is that everything? Let me just go through my notes again. Make sure we haven't missed anything. Okay. Specific words being used by RoboFizz, the blood and mouth line, bad trip scene, stuff at Ozzie's, Cash Buxo being a douchebag. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, there we go. Viz doesn't support the shipping of siblings, but has liked posts of Blitz x Fizz art. Yeah, should have been a dead giveaway right there, don't you think? Look, I know I probably just sound like a rambling fool at this point, but after seeing the comments and everything so often, I've clearly been thinking about this enough to, no joke, write a 3-page script for this video. So, yeah, I've said my part. Blitz and Fizz, not brothers, more likely to be ex-lovers, end the discussion on my end. But you know what? Hopefully this will help some people realize they're fine. They're just friends. Or ex-lovers. But not brothers. They're not related. That's all for today. Hope y'all had some fun with this video. And, well, if not, we'll see you at the next one. Till next time, see ya.